Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about time and specifically in reference to how long it takes for your loved one to really experience the true miracle of recovery. And not just your loved one, but you and your family and everybody else that has been affected by this horrible disease. So let me give an example. We had a call today from a husband about his wife. His wife is in her early 50s. She has been drinking pretty much since she was a teenager, but the last 10 years have been a living hell. Drinks every single day, wakes up to have a drink, goes to bed at night and has a drink, drinks with lunch, drinks with dinner. I mean, it's just completely out of control. Now, initially, we had spoken to the family about 6 months ago, and they decided they didn't want to file a Marchman Act, and they were able to get the wife to go to treatment for 90 days. On the 91st day, she left treatment, and guess what? She relapsed. Surprise, surprise. And so the conversation that we had with her, and that I try to have with every family, is that you have to understand this takes time. And sometimes families will say, well, treatment doesn't work. The Marchman Act doesn't work. Guardianship doesn't work. And I don't necessarily disagree with them, but the question is why? Why do some of these things not work? Because I will tell you, we have tremendous success in our office with treatment. We have tremendous success with the Marchman Act. We have tremendous success with the guardianship, provided you give it time. Okay, treatment doesn't work if the person's in the wrong facility. Treatment doesn't work if they are not in the correct facility, but don't stay long enough. The Marchman Act doesn't work unless you enforce it. When your loved one is non-compliant, they leave treatment. If you do not enforce it, because that's the magic of having a court order, then yeah, it's not going to work. I mean, I'll tell you, with the Marchman Act, which is a court order good for up to 90 days, we typically put people in treatment for usually 6 months. So we do 90 days, and we go back in, and we extend it. I've had people in treatment under a Marchman Act for as long as 2 years. Every 90 days, I went back in. And during those 2 years, we kept that person in recovery. Same with the guardianship. Again, it gives you the authority to make decisions for your loved one, medical decisions, so you can put them into treatment. But if you are not going to enforce the court order, well then, yeah, it's not going to work. The goal of the Marchman Act, the goal of guardianship, is so that you can make the decision that your loved one simply cannot make because their brain has been kidnapped. It looks like your loved one, it sounds like your loved one, but it is not your loved one. Okay, their brain has been kidnapped, and their substance use or mental health issues is what is running the show. And unless you put them into treatment and keep them there long enough, I'm sorry to tell you that this is going to continue. And like any disease, it's going to progress, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And there's no other way to tell you this. I won't sugarcoat it. I simply refuse, because I don't do any other kind of work. I do one thing. My team does one thing, and that's to save families just like yours. I'm not filing car accidents or divorce cases or any of those other things. I leave that to the other lawyers. We do one thing. That's it. That is our mission. So, knowing that it takes time, what does that look like? Like, what is the time frame, roughly? I would tell you that you should consider this a year-long project. 1 year. I'm not telling you got to hire my team for a year. We're typically on a case, even a Marchman, for at least 6 months. If it's a guardianship, yeah, we may be on it for a year, but most of the work is done probably in the first month, if not 2 months, even with a guardianship. But you have to keep your loved one in some form of treatment for a year. And we tell you it's a year because we just know from basically handling hundreds of these cases and speaking to thousands of families and clinicians and interventionists and treatment centers that it takes about a year for your loved one to heal, for you to heal, and for them to develop the skill set that they will need so they can maintain lifelong recovery. And if you know anybody who's been in recovery for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, they will tell you inevitably that they probably go to a meeting at least once a week. They work on their sobriety, their recovery, every single day. And it's different for everybody, but this is what it looks like. And so even in a case that we're handling, Let's say that your loved one is in treatment for 6 months, March or guardianship, or a combination of both. They then have to continue the recovery process. What does that look like? Well, 12 steps, getting a sponsor, going to meetings, continuing with some type of outpatient clinical services. Okay, it's not like do 90 days, okay, never have to deal with this again. It simply doesn't work like that. And so when we talk to this family about their loved one who has been drinking for years and years and years and years, and she did 90 days of treatment, I'm not surprised that she relapsed on the 91st day. You know, the day after she got out, she was back on the bottle. That should surprise no one because she has not had nearly enough time to heal, and neither has the family. So it takes time, and I cannot emphasize that enough. Okay, but if you can picture in your mind a time when your loved one was not like this, when they were a completely different person, I want you to hold that image in your mind because that's where we're going. That's the goal. But it's going to take time. It's going to take a little time. So with that said, I wanted to share that with you because I always want expectations to be real. Okay, I'm not here to sugarcoat things and tell you things that simply aren't true. If you want to save your loved one and you want to save your family, it's going to take a little time, but it starts right here, right now, with making the commitment to put them into treatment and keep them there long enough. That's it. That's how it works. So if you want to have a conversation about how we can help your family, your loved one, we're here. We're here to help you because that is our mission. And I appreciate you tuning in. I would love a thumbs up on this video if you are, if you'd like to, and you want to get more of this content, which I put out for free so you can get the information you need so you can make a decision about what's right for your family. I would love you to subscribe to the channel. And with that said, I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.